Hey guys, what's going on? It's Meshi with Meshi TV. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. So today we are going to be doing your general reading for money and career oriented, and this is designed obviously for all signs. And as you can tell, I have 3 cards in front of me, and we're going to be pulling the cards for this week as we go for each group. So we have group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. And we're going to have timestamp in the description box as always. I will do my best to list all of the decks that I'm using, because sometimes I do get some new decks along the way. So if some of you are interested, you can check that out. And if we haven't met yet, well, welcome. I'm so glad that you came by, said hello, and we're meeting here. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. We chat here for general readings once a day at this point, but we also talk about minimalist planning, and we're bringing in a whole section on lifestyle and self-care related topics such as yoga and spirituality. So if that sounds good, then consider subscribing. You're not going to regret it. Okay, take a look at the piles, see which one you're drawn to, and then let's get started. If you have chosen JP Morgan, then this is going to be your reading for this week. So 2, 4, 6, 8 merge as one conglomerate. Be an indispensable cash dispenser and don't make the laws inspire them. So what's happening here? Be an indispensable cash dispenser. It's almost like strive towards being a person that companies cannot live without. But also it's almost like it speaks so strongly about your uniqueness, about your own unique gifts essentially that you can kind of bring, and also be an inspiration for change, and don't be scared to kind of bring about change in the most interesting way. So interesting start for this week, you guys. Okay, let's start pulling some oracle decks and see what's happening there. Okay, what is happening for group number 1? And by the way, I intentionally didn't add a crystal because I wanted to really just pull a crystal for you guys for this week. What is happening for group number 1 in their career? Oh, some of them are upside down. Not upside down, you know what I mean. They turned the wrong way. What does group number 1 need to know about their career, please? What do they need to know? Some of you really need to lighten up the load, whether that's literally looking at money in a different way, where you're looking at it more as literally understanding that it's an energetic system, it's an exchange of energy, rather than attaching too much of a burden to it. And some of you also need a sense of comfort. Perhaps it's time for you to maybe splurge a little bit on some self-care. I'm definitely feeling it's almost like you're longing for home, or that sense of home, or that sense of comfort, that sense of love and being, and bringing back that closeness or that close bond that you have with your family. And maybe that's why, maybe you've been working too much. Who knows? Okay, let's pull some more cards. Let's see what else is happening. What is coming up for group number 1, please? What is coming up for group number 1? Okay. It's almost as if you, I don't necessarily see this as you wanting to do something different, but I definitely see that you're going in deeper into your work, and I see this desire of lightening up the load, but also to do something that you actually enjoy, that lights that spark within you, where you might not be doing that job right now, but in a way, or maybe you're working towards that, and right now Spirit is sort of reminding you that it is happening, it is unfolding for you, but you need to continue to trust that. And perhaps you need a little bit more support around you, whether that's from from your mom or from your dad or like your family that you're close to or your friends, but know that, you know, that you do have that. It's, you know what, this almost feels like you do have that very special bond with someone. Maybe it's at your work that, you know, kind of makes you feel comforted and safe. And but you're doing something that might not make you like happy anymore, or you're working on like a side hustle type of thing where you like it's sort of happening and you're sort of realizing the more you're doing it, the more it makes you happy. But like I definitely see that you're looking to like lighten up the load. Like perhaps you're maybe doing a little bit too much, and you're definitely doing something creative, where you're inspiring. It's almost like I see this as like you're doing big things with big money. Like it's almost like your vision is pretty big. Okay, let's see what the tarot has to say. Okay. So I feel like you are working on something that you actually love, something that you're really passionate about. I definitely see that sense of longing for something different, maybe something adventurous that perhaps is not, you're not getting that right now with your current situation, with your current job. But then there's also that sense of temptation of being tied down. Do you know what I mean? Like it, that plus the death card, like it's almost like you're resisting that change in a way, like or there's just a sense of fear. Like I'm more getting that perhaps you're it's almost like you're telling yourself this story of, no, this is fine, it'll be okay, like I'll just stay and I'll just compromise. And but then in the meanwhile, like you're longing for this other opportunity where you can be, you know, where you want to make a larger income, but then also you want to, like right now you're at that phase where you not only want to make a decent income, but you also want to be happy doing it. Like you want to kind of, you want to ignite that passion rather than just getting a paycheck. And I think that like since you came to this realization, then you're sort of like, okay, like what do we do about this and how do we kind of move forward with this? And just know that like the path that you're on, like it's already happening, it's already in motion. I feel like you're already kind of moving towards it, but there's all of these different obstacles that are coming up, and you're also kind of contemplating of, you know, but it's so tempting to just stay where I'm at. It's so tempting to just stay in this comfort zone, and you're definitely being pushed because the change is coming. Like the underlying message here that I'm getting for you is to have the courage, lighten up the load, and perhaps know sort of when to let this go, and have enough support around you where you can move forward creating, you know, like go after your passion. Ultimately, that's your underlying messages. It's already happening if you haven't kind of noticed, but keep working on it. And you need to lighten up the load because you're overwhelming yourself with too many things. You're trying to focus on too many things. And isn't it funny? So this is what came up. If you're using crystals and you're gravitated towards crystals, Tiger's Eye is going to really help you this week. If you have Tiger's Eye, please use them, but it's all about overcoming your fears. So definitely you're asked to fears and like the temptation here of just like staying small, like playing it small, playing it safe. Really need to kind of face those fears if you want to kind of move forward in a healthy way. So this is what I have for you, group number one. Stay tuned until the end of the video so that I can give you guys a collective message that you need to hear of how you can move forward in a healthy and positive way with your finances. So let's get on to group number two. Okay, group number two, this is for you. If you have chosen, If you have chosen Dr. Dre, then this reading is going to be for you. So Dr. Dre is listen to your inner voice through a premium speaker. Always stay ahead, even behind the scenes. And don't keep a finger on the pulse. Use a stethoscope. What I'm getting from him is that you need to kind of hone in on what you're good at and then start expanding and think significantly bigger than where you're at. And stay one step ahead. So how can you be innovative within your career? How can you move forward in a way where you're not only tapping into what your vision is, but you're not staying within that box that people put you in, and ultimately like tapping into your intuition. That's so big. Okay, what does group number 2 need to know for this week? What are your messages for group number 2, please? What are your messages for group number 2? You're serious? That's so funny. I feel like you guys are also holding on to a lot of burdens. And you need to kind of let things go, whether that's like inner stories that you're letting go. There's something that you need to let go. Something is not working and you need to kind of lighten up the load. But then also, to me, these goes hand in hand again, because understanding that you are energy light, but really like it's almost like you need to kind of find your inner passion and your inner light of what actually lights you up, rather than just doing a job that you're just doing it for the sake of making an income, rather than something that you actually want to be proud of. And letting go is all about like you're hanging on to something which is kind of like not letting you move forward in a positive way, right? Maybe it's like this lack inner story. Like some of you might be like running businesses and it's just not going well. Or okay, let's see what else is coming up. Well, this is starting to make sense. Here, go figure. You need to say yes. You need to lean in essentially to the things that actually light you up. You need to lighten up the load on the things that are really weighing you down. And you need to kind of like change your perspective of how you're looking at the work that you do. Like it's almost like you need a reframe of everything, because right now the way that you're kind of looking at it is not very good. You're kind of looking at all of these things like you have to do these things, rather than just you get to do these things, right? Like it kind of makes, like I definitely feel like for some of you, you're like dying to just do something creative and innovative and something that is, it's almost like it's fundamentally different than what you've been doing up to this point. But I see that you're scared, and you're scared of letting it go, scared of letting go this idea of like something that gives you comfort. This week you're asked to kind of tap into exactly what actually brings you passion, and like again, it's something new, but it's almost like it's fundamentally different than what you're doing right now. But you need to do something to actually change the way that you're approaching it, because it's not giving you what you want right now. And I definitely sense more fear than anything else, between tapping into your inner light, saying yes, maybe saying yes to yourself, right? But changing overall like how you approach what you do is so important. Okay, let's see what the tarot has to say. Okay, so here's what's happening. I feel like you're scared to make this shift, make this change, even though there's lots of passion and like lots of great ideas that are happening. But I think that what's happening is that you're scared that you will not, it's just literally like being scared to be successful, right? Like you're scared that you will not succeed, and you're telling yourself these stories, and you're asked to let that story go or just reframe them, because what you're telling yourself is not productive and it's not getting you where you actually want to be. But it's almost like you want to like grab the bull by the horns, but at the same time you're too scared to tap into that because it requires, like, it scares you way too much. You feel like you're going to lose everything and you're going to be this whole different person. And but then you're kind of forgetting that you sort of hold that, you hold the gift, right? Because like you have movement here, you have momentum here, that you have the ability to create momentum. But you have the right attitude. I feel like you have the right attitude, but you're like, I definitely sense that maybe in a sense you're kind of feeling like, I'm not experienced, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I feel that there's like a lack of confidence here. And at the same time, like that's sort of like maybe where you're working right now, or what you're doing right now is like very comfortable, and you already know, you're experienced, you already kind of know what you're doing. And this is like this whole new adventure where you're asked to like not only like learn new skills, but it's like exciting and new and fresh, right? Like it's like this fresh energy that I'm kind of getting. And then that's sort of turning things upside down. And what you're really working on, ultimately the underlying message here is to bring balance. Like you kind of need to fill up your own cup first before you can kind of move forward. But you absolutely need to like tap into what actually lights you up, because that will be your guiding light more than money. The money does follow passion. It does follow, you know, all of the things that actually light you up. And your answer, if you should, like for some of you, I feel like you're kind of waiting for that sign of, should I go with it or not? And your answer is yes, but you need to kind of do something to shift your vibration, and you have to start working towards it actively rather than just talking about it. So let's see if there is a crystal that can help you guys. Group number 2. Is there a crystal? Yes, there is. Haha. Yeah, it's almost like it's the money story that is the issue. Let the money flow in. If you have pyrite, please use it this week, you guys. I think it's going to help you lots to tap into that abundance mindset, tap into manifestation. For a lot of you, you are ready to manifest this wealth, but you need to kind of be matching energetically in order for you to do that. And having really negative like money stories is not really going to get you there. Stay tuned, you guys. This is what I have for you for this week. Hope this has resonated. Stay tuned until the end of the video, because I will be giving you guys a couple of cards for the collective that you can kind of take with you. And also when it comes to manifestation, stay tuned, because on the channel there is going to be a new section that I'm creating when we are talking a little bit more about the law of attraction. So just so you know. Okay, let's move on to group number 3. Okay, group number 3. If you have chosen Elon Musk, then this reading is for you. You can't make an omelet without risking a few nest eggs, and Icarus lacked a better spacecraft. Hitch your wagon to the future and design it yourself. So obviously Elon Musk is a complete and utter innovator. He came up with, or he is like the main investor in Tesla, and like he's literally changing our world as we know it. But what can he teach us, right? Like how can you be that person that becomes innovative and literally risks it all because he has that deep belief system that he's going to be able to make it? You guys are getting 3 this week. Some of you are learning like a really important lesson this week. And a big part of that has to do with your inner, it's almost like the stories that you're telling yourself, it's really holding you back, and you're not seeing why you're not making progress. But you're not making progress because you're hanging on to the wrong things, I guess. Like you're really like creating obstacles that are not really there. I also feel like for some of you, you need to return back to, it's almost like you're looking at how you can feel fulfilled within your financial health and within your career, and a lot of it has to do with helping others. Okay, let's see what else is happening for you. Lots of things happening. I think some of you are on the cusp of starting a business, but you're scared. So you're kind of like, it's almost like you're kind of acting out. You're definitely creating, it's almost like you're creating drama that isn't there, because like you're being pushed out of your comfort zone, and at the same time but you're like through this change, that's while this is happening, while you're kind of going through this turmoil, what I'm also getting is that you're also meeting people that are like really like-minded, and they're really like taking notice of like what you want or what your desire is. And it's definitely, it's almost like you're sort of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And that's where the learning comes in. Like you're ultimately learning a lesson of like how you're basically creating this how you're creating like how your inner talk or your inner dialogue is really affecting your outer world. And it's almost like a lot of you are also going through some deep healing right now around money and abundance, and how you relate to, it's almost like this kind of goes back to a lot of your self-worth, and a lot of, like I see a lot of self-love practices. Some of you are going to be starting a business. Or you already started a business. But you're sitting here impatient because the money's not coming in yet. Or maybe you're just at the beginning stages of things. And like you kind of want to move forward, but like there's definitely like, I'm not making that much yet. When is that going to happen? Like you keep, basically it's like if you start something, you need to kind of put in a lot of effort at first, and you need to keep watering those plants, you need to keep taking care of them, and you need to take care of that beautiful environment so it can grow. You know, like some of you really are at a point where you really want to manifest this abundant life, and it's so innovative and it's futuristic and it's forward thinking. So I feel like a lot of you are definitely very progressive thinkers, obviously, but then it's like you're trying to find like your happy medium between this transformation of how to do this, getting out of the way, and at the same time making progress. Because like your underlying is, so here you have the 6 of Wands reversed, but then here you have the 7 of Wands. So your underlying messages here is to keep working on it, to keep kind of trucking along, But know that this transformation will have a lot to do with you are literally undoing all of the programming that you have had from for generations. So a lot of the stuff that you're working through to make progress and to create more of an abundant way of living, it has to do with undoing a lot of those inner money stories. So I feel like there's a lot of inner work that's happening right now for a lot of you. The other thing is that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but you have to kind of work through it. And if you can find a way to kind of get out of the way and not sabotage your own progress and not overthink it. I'm definitely getting like a lot of overthinking, a lot of just like a ton of negative self-talk, right? Like, why isn't this happening? It's going faster for other people. And here's what you can use for this week. Find peace within. So basically, ultimately what I'm getting, so this is fluoride. If you have fluoride, you can definitely use it. I think it's going to be helpful. Underlying thing is to stop comparing yourself to other people. See if you can help other people, because that will also help you as well. And find that inner balance where you're okay with where you are, because that's all part of the process. This is all I have for you guys. I hope that this has resonated. Stay tuned until the very end. Use a timestamp to get you there, because I'm going to be pulling a couple of cards for the collective for this week that I think you can use as advice. So let's do this. It's been an interesting week, to say the least. I wanted to see what the angels has to say for you. Well, that makes so much sense. So you have Angel Metatron. Thank you for clearing my energy field. I feel like for a lot of you, you need some, you need to like really rewire that inner voice, that inner demon that's really coming up strong, but then also to like create almost like a protection field around you so that you're focused on your own lane, focused on your own progress, and honor your beauty. Archangel Josephiel. Tap back into self-love a little bit more, you guys, because manifestation is all about, and manifesting abundance in particular has a lot more to do with being an energetic match. And if you find beauty within you and you find that what makes you great, what makes you unique, then that translates into all aspects of your life, which includes your career, and it includes, you know, your financial health as well. So this is what I have for you guys. I wanted to thank you so much for joining me in this video. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you did, you already know what to do. You can support the channel by giving me a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet already. We talk about energy readings right now every single day, basically from Monday to Friday, but we also talk about minimalist planning, and there's a new section that's coming on my channel that's all about self-care. So stay tuned for that. And in the meanwhile, just keep seeking, wellness seekers, and I will see you guys again in my next video. Bye!